Good day, everyone. So for this video, we will be discussing about the correction component or pillar of the Philippine criminal justice system. So the corrections is the branch of the administration of the criminal justice charged with the responsibility for custody, supervision, and rehabilitation of convicted offender. Ang tinutukoy na correction dito sa tawag na correction component, no, based on the name itself, ang tinutukoy dito ibig sabihin is the reorientation, reintegration, or reinstruction of individual with a view of preventing a repetition of the deviation without the necessity of taking punitive action. Ibig sabihin po nito is, ang habol nitong correction component na to or pillar is to reorient or reintegrate yung mga PDL na napapasok sa kanila o yung mga napupunta sa kanila. The goal is to convert the PDLs to their previous selves na kung saan wala silang tendency to commit crime. O kaya baguhin, no, kung hindi wala man mababalikan, no, dati na silang ganun, baguhin yung kanilang pananaw sa buhay, yung kanilang buhay para hindi na sila makapag-commit ng crime. Yun po ang pinaka-main goal nitong correction pillar na to. Okay? Ano pa? Ayan, the process of returning the attitude to the former state. Ayun, nabanggit ko na. Or the body of knowledge and practices related to society's handling of adults and children. So, dalawa po yan. Adults and children who have been convicted of an offense implies preventing for further offenses. Kaya malagang tanda naman dito is the word penology. Correction ang tawag sa pillar or component. Penology, on the other hand, is a branch of criminology that deals with management and administration of inmates. Or simply means treatment of criminals, penology. Okay? Kaya ang mga logy na word na yan, tandaan nyo, the study of. Okay, so penology is the study of management and administration of inmates. Again, correction, yung component or yung pillar ng Philippine criminal justice system. Yung branch of criminology ang tawag penology. Kaya nga po, kung makikita nyo sa pangalan ng BJMP sa dulo, no? Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. So hindi lang po nila sinisafekeep ang mga PDL, kung hindi is ini-improve pa po nila yung pag-handle, pag-administer, pag-manage ng mga inmates by studying them or by studying the system itself. Kaya po may penology. When it comes to the correction, there is a two-system-based approach in correction. Number one, ito nabanggit ko na, institutional correction. Simply means imprisonment, incarceration of a convicted person. So may pagkakakulong. It is imprisoned or incarcerated si convicted person. Number two, non-institutional correction. Community-based process or programs. No? Pagbabayarin pa rin ang kanilang mga kasalanan pero community-based na ang magiging kaparusahan or pagbabayad. So these both system are being implemented on a fragmentary basis by three departments of the executive branch. These are the following: DOJ or the Department of Justice, the DILG or the Department of Interior and Local Government, and the Department of Social Welfare and Development, the DSWD. So sabi po dito sa fragmentary, ibig sabihin, lahat ng ito ng mga department or ahensya ito ng gobyerno is may ambag sa pagkakandak ng either institutional or non-institutional correction. Unahin muna natin yung mga institutional correction agencies in the Philippines. Number one is the Bucor. Okay? So kung hindi pa po kasama sa inyong kaalaman, ang Bucor po ay isa sa mga ina-applyan ng mga criminology graduates, lalong-lalo na kapag nakapasa na po ng board exam at may eligibility na. At among sa mga department na pwedeng applyan ng criminology graduates or licensed registered criminologists is Bucor po ang medyo mataas ang age limit, no? Around 30 to 35 pwede pa yata, or before 40, no? So the Bucor, it is the agency under the DOJ that is in charge with the custody and rehabilitation of national offenders. Tandaan yung word na yan, national offenders. That is, those sentence, ito may definition pala dito. National offenders, ang tawag sa mga merong imprisonment of more than 3 years. So si Bucor po ang nag-exercise ng control and supervision sa mga corrections or prison facilities. Okay? Tandaan ito ang tawag. Pag Bucor ang may hawak, ang tawag po is correction or prison facilities. So ito po yung mga correctional institution. Ito pa isang tawag, correctional institution na hawak po ng Bucor. Number 1 is Sablayan Prison and Penal Farm located in Occidental Mindoro. Number 2, Leyte Regional Prison situated in Abuyog, Southern Leyte. Number 3, New Bilibid Prison located in Muntinlupa. Number 4, Correctional Institution for Women located in Mandaluyong City. Ang dating tawag dito is Women's Prison na pinalitan ng CIW. Number 5, the Iwahig Penal Colony located at Palawan. Number 6, San Ramon Prison and Penal Farm established in Southern Zamboanga. And number 7, the Davao Penal Colony located in Davao del Norte. So 7 ang main correctional institution sa Pilipinas. So meron pa bang iba? Wala na po. Ito lang po yung mga hawak, mga kulungang hawak ng Bucor by under the management of the Bucor, this correctional institutions. So bukod sa Bucor, meron din po tayong provincial jails. So ito po yung mga jail that safe keeps prisoners at the capital of each province. And it is in the absence of special provisions, all expenses incident. So provincial jail po is, yun nga, situated siya sa mga capital ng province. So, meron tayo dito sa Albay, na provincial jail. Ang pinagkaiba nito kay Bucor at BJMP is, ang provincial jail po ay hawak ng provincial government. Ibig sabihin, ang nag-handle ng mga expenses ng personnel is the provincial government itself. And ang isa na mga kilala, no, is the BJMP, created by the virtue of the RA 6975 along with the PNP and BFP, that has the power to exercise supervision and control over all district, city, and municipal jail nationwide. Formally established on January 2, 1991, it operates in the line of bureau under the DILG. So ito po yung pangatlo sa tri-bureau ng DILG na talaga namang target ng mga criminology students or criminology graduates is the BJMP. Ayan naman po ang hawak niya is yung mga district, city, and municipal jail. Tandaan nyo yan, district jail, city jail, and municipal jail. Doon naman tayo sa non-institutional correction agencies. Parole and Probation Administration or the PPA. Attached agency sa DOJ, which provide a less costly alternative to imprisonment of offenders who are likely to respond to individualized community-based treatment programs headed by an administrator. Tandaan po yung alternative to imprisonment of offenders who are likely to respond to individualized community-based treatment programs. So kasi po, pagka ang isang tao ay nasisentensyahan, no? If a person is convicted, nire-review po, pwede ka po mag-apply for probation. At ang nagre-review po niyan is the Parole and Probation Administration, si PPA. Tinitingnan po nila yung ugali mo, yung background mo, kung ikaw ba ay pwede sa alternative sa imprisonment, no? Pwede ka ba sa individualized community-based treatment, no? Kahit ba nasa labas ka, makakapagbayad ka ng sa ginawa mo at the same time, marirehabilitate o magbabago ka ba. Okay? Next is the Board of Pardons and Parole. The administrative arm of the President. So under po to ng opisina ng Presidente. That exercises his constitutional power to grant, except in cases of impeachment, pardon, reprieve, and amnesty after conviction by final judgment. So ito po yung mga pwedeng ibigay naman ni BPP. Ito po yung mga community-based programs under the PPA and BPP. The community-based programs. Number one is the probation. It is a disposition where a dependent, after conviction of an offense, the penalty of which does not exceed 6 years of imprisonment, is released subject to the conditions imposed by the releasing court. Kaya ano mga importanteng kailangang tandaan pag sinabing probation? Pag sinabi pong probation, kapag ikaw po ay nasintensyahan after conviction, ang penalty mo lang dapat po is less than 6 years of imprisonment. Sir, paano kung 5 years, 11 months and 29 days? Pasok pa ba sa less than 6 years? Yes. Okay, less than 6 years, pwede kang mag-probation. At kapag meron pong probation, yung alternate to imprisonment na yan once ma-approve. So sa labas na po, igugugol ang iyong sintensya. At kadalasan, halimbawa, 1 year dapat ang imprisonment mo. So mag-under probation ka for 3 years or 2 years, ganun po ang nangyayari. Pero sa labas ka naman na nun, no? Tamang report ka na lang sa yung designated PPA personnel or probationer, or rather probation officer. Okay? And next, the parole, suspending the sentence of a convict after having served the minimum of his sentence without granting him pardon and prescribing the terms upon which the sentence shall be suspended. So parole naman po, ang kailangan tandaan dito is nakapag-serve ka na ng sentence mo. Tsaka ka magiging eligible for parole. Ibig sabihin, kapag po sinisintensya ng isang tao, ang sinasabi po is hindi lang naman isang number. Halimbawa, ikaw ay makukulong ng 6 hanggang 10 taon. Ibig sabihin, yung 6 na yun yung minimum sentence na pwede kang ikulong for the crime that you have committed. So dito, kapag na-achieve mo na yung 6 years na yun, yung minimum sentence mo, ikaw po ay magiging eligible na for parole or pwede ka na pong mag-apply for parole. No? Once na ma-reach mo yung minimum sentence na yun. So balikan natin ng konti. Probation. Pag nag-grant ka, pwede kang mag-probation agad pag nasintensyahan ka na. And then kapag nag-grant ka agad, is alternative na siya for imprisonment. So hindi na kailangan na once na mag-grant ka, pwede na yon agad. No? Hindi na kailangan na mag-serve ka pa ng sentence. Pero kay parole, required. Okay? Dapat makapag-serve ka ng sentence mo for at least the minimum amount ng iyong sentensya. Next, pardon. An act of grace extended to prisoners as a matter of right, vested to the chief executive as a matter of power. Vested to the chief of executive, ibig sabihin, sinong nagbibigay ng pardon? Si President po. At dalawa ang klase ng pardon. I believe I have mentioned this to you before. So we have the conditional pardon and the absolute pardon. Pinagkaiba, based on the word itself, pag conditional, meron pong requirements na attach. Pag sinabing absolute pardon, on the other hand, wala na pong kondisyon na ibibigay. Pag sinabing pardon, parang, lalo na pag absolute, parang kinalimutan na po ang iyong kasalanan. Ipinatawad ka na agad. Okay. Next, amnesty. It's extended to a group of persons. So, pwedeng isa lang or marami ang amnesty. Such as political offenders. Political offenders po, ito, required yan. Dapat political offenders sila. Purposely to bring about the return of dissidents to their home and to restore peace and order in the community. So amnesty naman po ang binibigay doon sa mga yon. Next is the commutation. An act of the president changing or reducing a heavier sentence to a lighter one. Ayan lang po minsan ang commutation po is nire-refer sa ibang sources as commutation of sentence. So pwedeng commutation na lang. Ibig sabihin, may sentensya ka, no, lumapit ka sa opisina ng presidente na baka pwedeng pagaanin ang sentensya. So pwedeng either palitan ang sentensya or bawasan ang sentensya na kuha mo. So pwedeng posibleng from 10 years of imprisonment, ibaba sa 8 years or 6 years, depende. No? Marami pang factors na i-consider dito. So those are the community-based programs under the correction. Okay? So the probation, parole, pardon, amnesty, commutation. Balikan natin saglit. Probation, pwedeng ma-apply na agad sa'yo. Pag na-approve ka, sa labas ka na agad. Pero kailangan, ang sentensya or ang penalty para sa crime na ginawa mo is less than 6 years. Parole, kailangan ma-serve mo na muna yung minimum sentence mo. Okay? Pardon, binibigay po ni Chief Executive or ng Presidente. Dalawang klase ng pardon, may conditional at may absolute. Pag conditional, meron ka pang kailangang kondisyon na sundin. Pagka absolute, wala nang kondisyon. Pinatawad ka na agad. Amnesty, pwede po sa isang tao or sa group of person na may na political offenders. So, related to politics ang kanilang krimen. Next, commutation or commutation of sentence. Ibig sabihin, i-change or babawasan ang sentensya mo. Yun lang naman ang ibig sabihin yan. Ina yan, na commutation. Next, the correction under the DSWD, the Department of Social Welfare Development. It renders services for CICL. Okay, ang mga bata po or considered children, kapag nakakommit po ng crime, hindi po tinatawag na PDL, hindi po tinatawag na suspect. Ang tawag is CICL, Children in Conflict with the Law. Alinsunod po ito sa RA 9344 or the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act of 2006 na na-enact noong April 28, 2006. In its section 6 nakalagay, minimum age of criminal responsibility. So according to the RA 9344, a child 15 years of age or under at the time of the commission of the offense shall be exempt from criminal liability. Okay, isa-isay natin yan. So yung bata, pwedeng 15 years old or under 12, 13, 11, 10, and so on. Pababa. Nung ginawa nila yung offense, okay, isa pang importanteng importanteng detail. Kasi po, minsan, nagre-report or nasasampahan ng kaso years after na nagawa yung krimen. So, ang tanong, kailan niya ba ginawa yung krimen? Ilang taon siya nun? If he or she is below 15 years old or 15 years old at the time of the commission ng crime, papasok po siya dun sa tinatawag nating CICL or children. Therefore, magiging exempt po siya from criminal liability. Sir, ano po ba meron kapag exempted ka sa criminal liability? Hindi ka makukulong. Yun lamang po. No? However, a child shall be subjected to an intervention program. So, hindi ka nga makukulong, pero mag-undergo ka sa isang intervention program or para ka rin pong kinokorek under the DSWD. No, parang bata ka pa lang, kinokorek ka na, no, dun sa mga yon. Hindi siya pagkakakulong eh. But rather para lang kayong nasa anong term nun? Para kayong nasa boarding school na sinusubukang baguhin ang inyong ugali na dahil nakagawa na kayo ng krimen, ngunit hindi pa kayo liable criminally, hindi pa kayo pwede. Ano pa? A child above 15 years old but below 18 years of age shall likewise be exempt from criminal liability and be subjected to intervention program unless he or she acted with discernment, in which case such child shall be subjected to appropriate proceeding in accordance with this The exemption from criminal liability herein established does not include exemption from civil liability, which shall be enforced in accordance with the existing laws. Okay. Sabi dito, lagpas ka na sa 15 years old, pero below 18 years old ka, dapat exempted ka rin sa criminal liability. However, isang importanteng detail is, tatanungin po ng korte kung ikaw ba, nung ginawa mo yung krimen, did you act with discernment? Ano ba yung discernment? Pag sinabi pong discernment, you are able to distinguish what is right from wrong. Alam mo na kung ano yung tama, alam mo na kung ano yung mali. But you chose to do the wrong behavior or the wrong act, therefore committing the crime. Kapag ganun po ang nangyari, you are more than 15 years old but less than 18 years old, at nag-act ka with discernment, ang mangyayari sa iyo is ita-trial ka po na para bang ikaw ay more than 18 years of age na. Para ka ng adult. Pero kung wala namang discernment, wala ka pang kakayahan talagang kilalanin ng tama at mali, ikaw ay itatrato as child and therefore mag-undergo sa intervention program. Anyway, magkakaroon pa kayo ng in-depth knowledge about this sa inyong subject sa juvenile, no? And pag sinabi pong you are criminally exempted ka lang po dun sa pagkakakulong na part ng sentensya. However, your civil liability, ito po yung mga restitution, yung fine, yung pagbayad sa damages. Ang civil liability, since bata ka pa, napupunta po yan sa iyong parents. Dun po sa kanila po mapupunta kapag may fine na 50,000 pesos. Ang magbabayad niyan, of course, is your parents. Or sa kanila mapupunta yung responsibilidad na yan. So, ano pa? The JJWC or the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Council. A Juvenile Justice and Welfare Council is hereby created and attached to the Department of Justice, so DOJ na naman po. The JJWC shall chaired by an undersecretary of the DSWD. The DSWD also operates regional rehabilitation center which are located in 10 sites nationwide. So may rehabilitation center din naman po ang DSWD. Dito na pupunta yung mga nag-undergo ng intervention program. At sa 10 na yon, sa 10 sites ng rehabilitation center, 10 doon ay para sa lalaki at isa lang ang para sa babae. The isa doon is the National Training School for Boys na tinuturing na isang pinakamalaking rehabilitation center sa Pilipinas, located sa Sampaloc, Tanay, Rizal. At it caters youth offenders from Region 4, 5, and NCR. Dahil ito nga yung malaki, no? More than one region ang kanyang kinikater pagdating sa mga youth offenders. Next is the only regional youth rehabilitation center for girls is the National Training School for Girls. Located naman po sa Marilac Hills, Alabang, Metro Manila. Nasa Metro Manila ang youth rehabilitation center ng girls. Ayan, the 8 other RRCYs. RRCY stands for Regional Rehabilitation Center of Youth. Ito pa yung 8, no? Isa located sa Barangay Orayong, Bawang, La Union for those coming from Region 1 and 2. 1, 2 and the Cordilleras. Barangay Ayala, Magalang, Pampanga for Region 3. Nueva Valencia and the island province of Guimaras for Region 6. Barangay Candabong, Argao, Cebu for Region 7. Dipolog, Barangay Santo Niño, Leyte for Region 8, Barangay Anastasio Polanco Dipolog, Zamboanga del Norte for Region 9, Gingoog City for Region 10, and Barangay Bago Oshiro, Davao City for Region 11. Youth offenders from Caraga region are sent either to Dipolog, Gingoong, or Davao, depending on which is most accessible. Doon naman po tayo sa types of jail. There are three main types of jail. So there is the lockup, ordinary, workhouse, jail, farm, or camp house. So sa lockup jail, ito yung security facility for detention of prisoners na under investigation pa lang or awaiting for preliminary hearing. At kadalasan ng mga lockup jails ay operated ng mga law enforcement unit. So lockup jail, sa PNP actually ang isa pang term nila dito is the custodial facility. Okay? Again, this is a detention of persons na held under investigation or awaiting preliminary hearing. Next, the ordinary jail. This facility houses both offenders awaiting court actions and those serving short sentences, usually up to 3 years. Ang may hawak ng mga ordinary jail is BJMP. Okay? So, meron pong mga ganitong senaryo na kapag under awaiting for preliminary trial pa rin po is nagkakaroon na po ng tinatawag na commitment order. Kapag yan po may commitment order na, pwede na pong dalhin ni PNP papunta kay BJMP. Yun po ang hinihintay ng BJMP na utos galing sa korte na meron ng commitment order. Therefore, pwede na lang tanggapin si PDL pero hindi pa siya formally na nagsiserve ng sentence. Kung hindi, is detained pa lang siya awaiting for trial. Next, the workhouse, jail, farm, or camp house. Houses minimum custody offenders serving short sentences with constructive work programs. It provides full employment for prisoners, remedial services, and constructive leisure time activities, ideal for municipality with large number of inmates. So dito sa atin, actually, wala tayong formal na tawag na workhouse na sa ating mga correctional facilities or jail facilities. So pero isa ito sa mga types ng jail. Doon naman po tayo sa classification of prisoners. Mga prisoners po is kinaklasify depende sa kanilang sentence. Insular prisoners or national prisoners. Ito po yung mga merong imprisonment na mula 3 years, 1 day up to life imprisonment. Ulitin ko, insular and prisoners ang tawag sa mga merong sintensya na 3 years and 1 day up to life imprisonment. Next, provincial prisoners. Those persons sentenced to suffer a term of imprisonment from 6 months and 1 day to 3 years or a fine not more than 1,000 pesos or both. Or those detained therein awaiting for preliminary investigation of their cases cognizable by the RTC or the Regional Trial Court. Okay? Provincial prisoners, 6 months, 1 day up to 3 years or a fine not more than 1,000 or both. Okay? Tandaan po yan. At yung isa naman is the city prisoners. One who is sentenced to a term of 1 to 3 years, 1 to 3 years. And municipal prisoners, one who is sentenced to a prison term of 1 day to 6 months. So kapag municipal jail lang yan, no, probably ang sentensya niyan is 1 day to 6 months lamang po. Pag city jail naman na yan, 1 to 3 years, no? Pag pwede rin naman, kung hindi city jail or city prisoner, magiging provincial prisoner po siya. So, the following are the general function of corrections. Number 1, to maintain the institution. Institution na tinutukoy dito is the jail or the prisons. Okay, the correctional component is responsible for maintaining prisons, jails, and other institutional facilities to receive convicted offenders sentenced to period of incarceration. Okay? So, isa to sa mga mahirap na role actually ni corrections because dahil congested ang ating mga offenders, ang ating mga PDL sa ibang mga correctional facilities, nagkakaroon po ng difficulty when it comes to maintaining the jails. Yes, nami-maintain sila pero hindi na sila nami-maintain in a way na very livable, disease-free, lalo na
when it comes to skin diseases. If you're not aware, na lalo na sa mga jail facilities na napaka-congested po ng offenders. Next, to protect law-abiding members of society, corrections, custody, and security in order to keep sentenced offenders removed from the free world so that they cannot commit further crimes on society. Okay, sa ginagawa po ng corrections component or mga member ng corrections component na sinisafekeep nila ang mga offenders is pinoprotektahan na po nila ang society, no? Dahil nandun sa kanilang mga offenders, naiiwasan na po na makapag-commit pa sila ng kung anumang krimen. Next, to reform offender. It is responsible for developing and providing services to assist incarcerated offenders to reform and assist them in returning society and in leading a non-criminal life after his or her release. So bukod sa pagsisafekeep sa mga prisoner or PDL, ang trabaho rin po nila is mapabago. Okay? Ngayon, kung hindi kayo gaano pang expose sa mga programs ng BJMP, no, you will learn them as you go on with your studies. Na ang mga programang ina-uphold at ina-exercise, pina-practice sa loob ng BJMP, ang main goal is talagang to reform the PDLs, hindi naman po to make them suffer, no. Ang goal po is to reform them to make to be a better human being and a member of society. Next, to deter crimes. It is responsible for encouraging incarcerated and potential offenders to lead a law-abiding life. Kaya nga, sinabing law-abiding is yung sumusunod na sa batas, no? Tinuturuan sila mag-reform o magbago para maging law-abiding citizen sila or para sumunod na sila sa batas. At the same time, nade-deter po ang krimen. Ibig sabihin ng deter, napipigilan. Napipigilan po ang krimen na mangyari. So ito pa po ang mga purpose of correction. Deterrence, rehabilitation, reintegration, isolation and incapacitation, and punishment. Unahin natin si deterrence since nabanggit ko naman na. So the word deter means pagpigil. So dinideter po niya yung pag-commit pa ng krimen dahil nasa kanila na nga po, no, na nasa custody na po ng mga corrections. Next, rehabilitation. Dami na natin si reintegration. Rehabilitation and reintegration is yung pagbabago, rehabilitate, no? Pag sinabi pong rehabilitate, hindi nang naman po tanggalin ang pagiging addict. Pag sinabi pong rehabilitation is binabago po yung kanilang pagkatao para mas maging mabuting tao or mamamayan. Pag sinabi naman pong reintegration, tinutulong po sila kung paano maging mas mabuting miyembro ng society para ma-reintegrate sila sa society. And isolation and incapacitation. Una, isolation is ina-isolate or hinihiwalay po sila from the other members of the society. Pag sinabi naman po incapacitation, tinatanggalan po sila ng kakayahan na makapag-commit pa ng krimen simply by keeping them inside the jail or correctional facilities. And number 5, punishment. Of course, no? Ang pinaka-goal po ng mga correction or ng correction component is to make them pay for the crime they have committed. Punishment, no? So, kaya naman po naging, baka masabi nyo mas lenient ang approach ng correction sa mga crime offenders is yun nga, yung tinuturing na lang sila. So, in the first place, kaya nga po PDL lang naging tawag sa kanila, person deprived of liberty. So, ang tinanggal lang po sa kanila is yung liberty rights nila or yung karapatan mong pumunta kung saan mo gusto. Yun lang naman ang tinanggal, pero meron pa rin silang rights, yung mga karapatan ng tao, human rights, no? Karapatang mabuhay, tratuhin na tao, yan, meron pa rin sila noon. Kaya ganun po ang programa ng BJMP or ng correction component entirely. Yun ang habol yan. So, ito, mababanggit ulit dito. Importance of correction in the PCJS. So, it deals with the custody, treatment, rehabilitation, reintegration of offenders. Comes into operation after conviction or during detention. Okay. So, pumapasok po ang role ng correction component kapag meron ng conviction or meron ng sentensya or during detention, undergoing investigation or na awaiting trial pa rin po, detention. Individuals who violate the law are lawfully deprived of liberty. Deprived lamang po ng liberty. Pero yung karapatan nila as human person ay nire-respeto pa rin. Ayan, nabanggit dito. No? The correction component serves not only to punish offenders, but more importantly, to reform and rehabilitate them. No? The underlying logic here is kapag ka pinaparusahan mo ang isang tao, pero hindi mo naman siya tinulungan magbago, paglabas niyan, posibleng gumawa ulit yan ng krimen. Therefore, defeating the logic na talaga bang mapagbayaran yung krimen o magbago yung tao. Kaya po nagkaroon ng reform and rehabilitation role ang correction component. So ito, nabanggit dito. Thereby reducing recidivism and promoting public safety. Pag sinabi pong recidivism, no, magkakaroon pa naman ng definition to sa inyo, pero ito lang po ang general context when it comes to the recidivism na word. Pag sinabing recidivism, repeating the crime. So pag sinabing repeating, of course, more than once, no? Pinaulit-ulit yung pag-commit ng crime. Pero meron kasing mas in-depth na definition dito, pero yun lamang po muna ang kailangan yung alalahanin. The general context when it comes to the word recidivism. Without correction, the criminal justice system would fail to enforce court decision and would be unable to achieve its ultimate goal of justice without social reintegration. So na naman po tayo sa mga specific role ng BJMP in the correction. Number 1, safekeeping of detainees. BJMP ensures that the person deprived of liberty are securely detained while their cases are pending, maintaining order within jails. No, safekeeping po ang tawag in the more friendly term. Kumbaga. So binabago po kasi yung stigma na pag sinabing kulong yan, under custody na masamang tao agad. No, not all of them. Kasi yung iba nga detainee pa lang, awaiting trial pa lang, under investigation pa lang. Next, number 2, protection of the presumption of innocence. So sabi nga natin sa korte natin at sa ating criminal justice system itself, meron pong presumption of innocence. Sinasabi na you are innocent until proven guilty. So yun din po ang pinapairal na prinsipyo ng BJMP. You will be treated as innocent until proven guilty. Hindi naman ibig sabihin na kapag guilty ka na, is wawalang hiyain ka na, hindi. You will still be treated and respected as a human person. Pero yun nga, you are deprived of your liberty. Number 3, goal din po ng BJMP is the decongestion and jail management. BJMP implements programs to address jail congestion. Jail congestion refers to the overpopulation sa mga jail facilities. Improve facilities and maintain discipline among detainees. Yun nga, dahil merong programa ang BJMP when it comes to rehabilitation and reintegration of the PDLs, ang goal doon is once na ito makalaya, dapat hindi na ito mag-commit ulit ng krimen. So therefore, hindi na or mababawasan na yung mga offenders na papasok sa kulungan. At least hindi na umuulit yung iba. So ano pa? Number 4, the rehabilitation at the pre-conviction stage. Despite being pre-conviction facilities, BJMP jails offers values, formation, education, and livelihood programs to prepare detainees for possible reintegration. I'm not sure if you are aware na sa BJMP may nagagawa sila mga education and livelihood programs katulad ng pag-debate, paggagawa ng mga products na binibenta sa labas para magkaroon ng pinagkakakitaan ng mga PDLs, no? Pero don't interpret it in the wrong way. Sa BJMP po, walang formal na pera. No, parang bibigyan lang po kayo ng papel na nakalagay doon yung halaga ng papel, ng halaga ng pera na meron ka. As yun po yung gagamitin mo for transaction. So walang actual na papel na papasok sa loob ng mga jail facilities. Next, the role of the Bucor in the corrections. Number 1, custody of the convicted prisoners. Bucor ensures the secure confinement of inmates who have been finally convicted by the court. So, pagdating sa confinement or safekeeping din, si Bucor naman po may hawak niyan. Mga convicted, ibig sabihin meron ng sentensya. Number 2, implementation of rehabilitation programs. So, Bucor operates structured programs focusing on moral spiritual development, education and skills training, and psychological and behavioral reform. So, ito naman po yung mga programs na ini-implement ni Bucor para sa mga inmates na mapupunta sa kanilang custody. Number 3, preparation for reintegration into society. Reintegration nga po is yung pagre-release sa mga PDL na makabalik sa society at maging law-abiding citizen instead of makapag-commit ulit ng krimen. Number 4, promotion of restorative justice. Ang word na yan, mahalaga rin po yan, restorative justice. Pag sinabi pong restorative justice, meron po tayong nakuhang hustisya, pero at the same time, nire-restore po natin yung relationship ng mga stakeholders. Ang tinutukoy po ditong stakeholders, si victim, si offender, and yung society and all. No? Dahil binibigyan natin ng importansya ang buhay ng tao, nire-restore po, no? Nagbibigay ng hustisya, but at the same time, we should restore the peace, the respect within the victim, the offender, and the entire society itself. And that would be all. Subscribe, stay curious, follow for more.